Sydney, a city often celebrated for its breathtaking beauty, vibrant opportunities, and an enviable lifestyle, draws global admiration. Its iconic landmarks and sparkling harbor paint a picture of prosperity and urban sophistication. Yet beneath this captivating facade lies a stark and growing reality. Sydney is grappling with an affordability crisis that touches nearly every resident. This economic squeeze impacts even the city's highest earners, challenging their ability to thrive. This script explores the journey of how Sydney transformed into one of the world's most expensive cities. At the heart of Sydney's affordability crisis lies a chronic housing shortage. The demand for homes, both for rent and purchase, consistently and significantly outstrips the available supply. This fundamental imbalance acts as a powerful accelerator. It drives real estate prices to astronomical levels across the city. This scarcity fuels widespread affordability woes, making it challenging to secure even a small apartment or purchase a family home. The housing market reflects an intense competition for limited resources. A primary and significant factor exacerbating the housing shortage is Sydney's restrictive zoning laws. These regulations often place severe limitations on urban planning and development. They particularly constrain housing density in many desirable areas. Such policies prevent the construction of sufficient new dwellings required to accommodate population growth. This artificial scarcity, therefore, directly and inevitably inflates property values. The regulatory environment actively impedes market solutions to supply issues. Sydney boasts a robust economy and offers relatively high wages in many sectors. However, this economic strength is overshadowed by a persistent problem. The cost of living frequently outpaces income growth. The widening gap between average earnings and daily expenses is becoming critical for many residents. Housing costs, in particular, represent an extraordinarily significant burden on household budgets. Consequently, many individuals and families struggle to maintain a comfortable standard of living. The long-cherished Australian dream of homeownership becomes an increasingly distant reality. Adding another layer of complexity to financial burdens are the high taxes faced by Sydney residents. Beyond income tax, various levies contribute to the overall cost of living. Simultaneously, the rising costs of essential goods and services, such as groceries, utilities, and transportation, squeeze budgets further. These combined expenses significantly erode disposable income for households. Less money remains for discretionary spending, savings, or investment in the future. Household budgets are constantly under pressure from this cumulative financial strain. Sydney's transportation network faces ongoing challenges, often struggling to keep pace with population growth. As a result, commuting times for many residents can be lengthy and frequently inefficient. This adds a substantial time cost to the daily lives of Sydneysiders. Long commutes impact both productivity and personal well-being, reducing time available for family, leisure, or additional work. Time spent stuck in traffic or on crowded public transport is time not spent earning, enjoying life, or contributing to personal development. The inefficiency carries a heavy, non-monetary price. Sydney's undeniable popularity as a global tourist destination introduces another layer of pressure. This desirability drives increased demand for short-term rental accommodations. Such short-term offerings directly compete with the long-term housing market. The continuous influx of visitors, while economically beneficial for the tourism sector, contributes to rising property and rental prices. It further reduces the available pool of permanent housing for residents. This global appeal inadvertently intensifies the local housing crisis. Ironically, even significant wealth doesn't automatically guarantee comfort or ease in Sydney. The exceptionally high cost of living creates a constant, relentless pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle. This pressure can consume substantial financial resources. It often leaves little room for true financial freedom, genuine relaxation, or the ability to save substantially. The pursuit of luxury, which many associate with the city, can itself become a significant and ongoing financial burden. Wealth offers fewer buffers in Sydney than elsewhere. The affordability crisis in Sydney extends far beyond individual financial struggles. It profoundly affects the social fabric of the entire city. This economic strain potentially leads to increased social inequality. It also risks a decline in the rich diversity of its communities, as those with lower incomes are priced out. The very essence of Sydney's attractiveness, its vibrant and diverse community life, is increasingly at risk. This erosion threatens the city's long-term dynamism. The affordability crisis also creates significant hurdles for small businesses, which are vital to any city's character. High commercial rents and soaring operating costs present major obstacles to their survival. Many independent shops find it increasingly difficult to compete. This often leads to a homogenization of the city's commercial landscape, with fewer unique independent stores. There is a greater reliance on larger chain stores and corporate entities, which can absorb higher costs. The unique, local character of Sydney is slowly but noticeably changing. Home ownership, once considered a cornerstone of the Australian identity and a symbol of stability, has become increasingly elusive for many Sydneysiders. This struggle carries a significant emotional toll for individuals and families. The inability to achieve this milestone contributes to widespread stress and anxiety among residents. The pervasive pressure to keep up with the rising costs and expectations in Sydney is relentless. This constant striving often means making difficult sacrifices. The dream of a stable future, often tied to homeownership, recedes further out of reach for a growing segment of the population. The true cost of living in a globally recognized city like Sydney is not merely monetary. It is measured in the sacrifices made by its residents and the dreams that are deferred or abandoned. We observe an erosion of the very qualities that once made the city so vibrant and desirable. Sydney's story serves as a cautionary tale, offering crucial insights for other global cities facing similar pressures. The fundamental challenge lies in balancing economic growth and international appeal with the essential well-being of its residents. The goal must be to ensure that the dream of a good life remains genuinely within reach for all who call Sydney home.